Did you hear? Hear what? They suspect someone of
This tower is too cold.
Why would anyone do something so stupid? It's a death sentence. Because blood magic is powerful? You can bend others to your will and force demons into your service. That's what I hear anyway.
Of course. Very well.
Must control the fire with your will. Keep the flames steady. We don't want it sputtering and leaping about. That's what causes most of the injuries.
Injuries? But...
Steady. It reacts to your emotions. If you panic, it will... No. Breathe. You know, in my experience, flint and tinder works just as well. Maybe we should start with that.
I really should be concentrating on the flame.
I hope you've spoken to the first enchanter. He seems eager to see you.
Do any of you remember what the Chantry says about magic?
Magic must serve man, and not rule over him.
Very good. And what do you think that means? Can anyone tell me?
Only boys can do magic.
Hey!
No, that's not what it means.
It means that magic should be used to help people, but we can't use our magic to force people to do what we want.
That's right. We should not abuse the gift the Maker has given us. Aren't the children just precious?
I heard the Templars talking about chasing down a Malefica yesterday.
Being in the tower is much better than being on the farm.
I can't wait to learn the fire spells. It looks like fun.
Gerda told me the Templars watch us while we bathe. I hope that's not true.
Concentrate. Hold the shield. If I had put all my power behind that spell, you would have been obliterated. I am not your enemy. Fear is your enemy. It is a weakness that can be exploited. Should you face a demon with your will wavering so, it would consume you. Is that what you want? No.
How does it feel
Then
to be done
stand
with the
firm
harrowing?
and know you can resist whatever I throw at you. Again.
Hello there.
Congratulations on your test.
Hey, did you hear about that apprentice they're going to send for?
Shh!
Yes, is there something you need? Yes, it is. Do you need something, or are you just here to state the obvious? The Knight Commander would have my head if I did that. Besides, I hear it takes no less than 4 grown men to open this door. No, you may not. I'm surprised you ask. I would have thought you'd be used to this idea by now. Only mages on official circle business are allowed to leave the tower, and the first enchanter has not informed us of any mages leaving the tower today. The only safe one, as far as I know. There are windows on the higher levels, but surely you don't need me to warn you of the dangers of leaping from them. It never ends well. For Eldon, it's not very interesting. Mostly farms, the occasional river. Make a smile fortune on you.
Yes.
Of course. It will be done.
Welcome to the Circle's stockroom of magical items. My name is Owain. How may I assist you? The stockroom stores components used in magical and alchemical experiments. Do you require something? I voluntarily submitted to the Rite of Tranquility. I was unwilling to undergo the harrowing. I find this state agreeable. Tranquility has its merits. I see the world with clarity. I remember the days when my mind was... Now things are simple. My body is similar in form to yours, possessing an equal number of limbs, appendages, and internal organs. I perform the same physical functions. My mind is capable... Am I to be denied personhood because I do not feel as you do? I have thoughts and memories. I remember my past, my childhood in the tower. These experiences defined me. My lack of emotion simply adds to what is already there. I propose we agree to disagree. Personhood is not measurable. Therefore, we should let this rest. I was ordered to never speak of it. I cannot go against the Circle's will. It is difficult to describe. I would perhaps compare it to being plunged into a pool of ice-cold water.
If you want something from the stockroom, you must speak to Owain.
Is there something you need? You must speak to Owain.
Your mentors must be happy for you. You passed that harrowing.
Yes.
I hear Irving's very proud of you. Oh, it's you. I hear Irving's looking for you.
I'd avoid Leora if I were you. She's been rather testy lately. Senior Enchanter, Leora, over there.
You're not going to keep the first enchant... Oh, it's you. I hear Irving's looking for you.
Blessed art thou who exists in the sight of the Maker. Blessed are the penitents who seek his return. Blessed is the prophetess, purified by flame. May the chant reach the Maker's ears and tell him of our contrition, so let it be. Oh, I didn't see you there. I recite the Maker's blessings every day. It brings me peace in troubled times. Oh, all right then. I should go. My mentor only allows a few minutes each day for religious contemplation.
Of course.
I heard about your harrowing. Congratulations. Andraste must have smiled upon you.
Yes.
Many have already gone to Ostagar. Wynne, Aldred, and most of the senior mages. We've committed enough of our own to this war effort.
Your own? Since when have you felt such kinship with the mages, Gregor? Or are you afraid to let the mages out from under Chantry's supervision, where they can actually use their Maker-given powers?
How dare you suggest?
Gentlemen, please. Irving, someone is here to see you.
Nothing concerning you at this moment. Come, child.
This is...
Yes, this is he.
Well, Irving, you're obviously busy. We will discuss this later.
Of course. Well, then, where was I? Oh, yes, this is Duncan of the Grey Wardens.
Grey Wardens go wherever duty sends them.
You've heard about the war brewing to the south, I expect. Duncan is recruiting mages to join the King's army at Ostagar.
With the Darkspawn invading, we need all the help we can get, especially from the Circle. They are twisted monsters that dwell underground where the sun's light cannot touch them. They have formed into a horde in the Korcari Wilds and threaten to invade north into the valley. I fear if we don't drive them back, we may see another blight.
Duncan, you worry the poor lad with talk of blights and Darkspawn. This is a happy day for him.
We live in troubled times, my friend.
We should seize moments of levity, especially in troubled times. The harrowing is behind you. Your phylactery was sent to Denerim. You are officially a mage within the Circle of Magi. You may not remember, but blood was taken from you when you first came to us. This blood is preserved within a phylactery.
So they can be hunted if they turn apostate.
We have few choices. The gift of magic is looked upon with suspicion and fear. We must prove we are strong enough to handle our power responsibly. You have done this. I present you with your robes, your staff, and a ring bearing the Circle's insignia. Wear them proudly, for you have earned them. It goes without saying that you shall not discuss the harrowing with those who have not undergone the rite. Now then, take your time to rest, or study in the library. The day is yours. Impetuousness is ever the province of youth, I see.
I will return to my quarters.
Would you be so kind as to escort Duncan back to his room, child? The guest quarters are on the east side of this floor, close to the library. Now, if you'll both excuse me, I have matters to discuss with Gregor.
Thank you for walking with me. I'm glad for the company. Yes? What about? A horde has formed within the Korcari Wilds in the south. If they are not stopped, they will strike north into the valley. We Grey Wardens believe that an archdemon is leading the horde. Darkspawn do attack the surface in ragtag bands, but archdemons are capable of rallying the Darkspawn, turning them into an unstoppable force. A horde of Darkspawn, a veritable army. It is dire news indeed. I fear this is what we will have to face. We can't seem to eradicate them completely. Somehow they always come back. It is not my place to comment. Gregor serves the Chantry, and the relationship between the Chantry and mages has always been strained. You've realized by now that the Chantry merely tolerates magic? They watch only because they feel they must. The Chantry believes that a mage should fear his power. It was the pride of mages, they say, that brought the Darkspawn upon us in the first place. Any mages who join the King's army can unleash their full power on the Darkspawn. In fact, I'm counting on it. Gregor may be afraid of what will happen. What if the mages decide they no longer want to be governed by the Chantry? I believe we must defeat the Darkspawn, one way or another. My opinions end there. Yes. Yes, shouldn't we move along? Yes? What about? A horde has formed within the Korcari. We Grey Wardens believe that an archdemon is leading. A horde of Darkspawn, a veritable army. It is dire news. They usually move around in small groups, but there are... Yes, perhaps it will be enough if we... We can't seem to eradicate... Oh. Yes, shouldn't we move along? Yes? What about? Our duty is to battle Darkspawn wherever they appear. We are elves, humans, and dwarves united by this common purpose. Some of our most honored wardens have been elves. The hero, Garahel, the last warden to slay an archdemon, was one such. The Darkspawn threaten everyone. They do not distinguish between the races, and neither should we. Has being an elf in the Circle been difficult? Elves are often treated as lower class in the cities. I was curious about your own experiences. Granted, the Circle Tower is nothing like Denerim or Val Royeaux, but certain opinions tend to persist. If one has always seen elves as less than human, it's hard to imagine them as something else. A good attitude, though be careful not to take it too far. Yes.
Don't dawdle.
Greetings. I'm glad your harrowing went well. I am Cullen. I was to strike the killing blow if you had, become an abomination. I am glad you didn't. Honestly, I've never seen an abomination, or been called on to slay one. As I said, I've never seen one, but when someone becomes an abomination, something must happen. But what if it's not obvious? Could abominations be walking among us right now? This is still new to me. Maybe one day I'll be as dedicated and driven as Knight Commander Gregor. You must be busy. Perhaps we can talk another time. I hope you are well.
Thank you for escorting me. Is there something else I can do for you? The mages whose connection to the Fade has been severed? Why do you ask? It keeps them and those around them safe. Perhaps the sacrifice is worthwhile. I cannot say. When the king sent out the call, the Circle of Ferelden sent only 7 mages to Ostagar. I asked King Caelan's permission to come and seek a greater commitment from the Circle. I hope to place a mage or 2 within every contingent. I cannot do with just 7. Mages will make all the difference in this battle. The Darkspawn have their own magic, and our resources must exceed theirs. I don't know. Do you? Then perhaps I shall speak to Irving about this later. Darkspawn are a greater threat than blood mages, even abominations. It takes decades for the world to recover from a blight. I wish the Chantry could see that. We must stop at nothing to defeat the Darkspawn. Listen to me. An old man's rantings can't be very interesting. Yes, I'm sure they did. Once, in my youth, just after I joined the Grey Wardens, I was traveling with my mentor. We encountered a group of Templars hunting a blood mage. They were quite far away, so I cannot be sure of what I saw. He forced some of the Templars to turn on their fellows. It was dreadful to behold. He would have escaped had he not overlooked one Templar who snuck up behind him and cleaved his head in 2. There have been mages within the Grey Wardens who have needed to resort to blood magic to deal with the Darkspawn. It is something to consider, certainly. I imagine you don't leave very often, do you? I am not a good source of news, I fear. I am preoccupied with the Darkspawn incursion. Certainly. I am intimately familiar with these subjects. Our duty is to battle Darkspawn. We Grey Wardens believe that an archdemon is leading a horde of Darkspawn, a veritable... Of course. Don't let me keep you.
I'm glad I caught up to you. Are you done talking with Irving? I need to talk to you. Do you remember what we discussed this morning? Shh! I just want to make sure we're not overheard. We should go somewhere else. I don't feel safe talking here. I've been troubled. I'll explain. Come with me, please. We should be safe here.
Not a priest. I am merely an initiate. I often attend to my duties in this chapel. Perhaps that is why I seem familiar.
A few months ago, I told you that I met a girl. This is Lily. Very funny. There is something else. Remember I said that I didn't think they wanted to give me my harrowing? I know why. They're going to make me tranquil. They'll take everything that I am from me. My dreams, hopes, fears, my love for Lily. All gone. Is it? It's just another kind of death. They'll extinguish my humanity. I'll just be a husk, breathing and existing, but not truly living.
I saw the document on Gregor's table. It authorized the right on Jowen, and Irving had signed it.
There's a rumor about me. People think I'm a blood mage. They think that making me a circle mage will endanger everyone. Of course not. But it's not safe here for me anymore. I need to escape. I need to destroy my phylactery. Without it, they can't track me down. We need your help. Lily and I can't do this on our own.
Give us your word that you will help, and we will tell you what we intend.
The joy of helping a friend? The satisfaction of...
The repository holds more than phylactery.
Aren't you sick and tired of the Circle running your life? You could get out of here with us. You'll be out of here and gone before they can even dispatch a messenger. You're talented and clever. You could take your phylactery back. You have so much power. Once you're free, they wouldn't be able to stop you. If we tell anyone, Lily will be punished. If you care about what happens to me, help us.
It's all right, Jowen. There's always... I understand your reluctance, and I can only beg you won't violate our trust. Our lives depend on your... And if you can find it in your heart, wish us luck.
If you're not going to help, leave me alone.
Forgive Jowen. He can be surly. But why have you returned? Please say you've changed your mind.
Really? What? Of course not! I never used blood magic. I've been sneaking around to meet Lily in secret. Maybe others have seen me and assumed I must be doing something forbidden. I suppose we are, but they think it's blood magic, and it isn't. Maybe if it were just Irving, he'd spare me. But he has to keep the peace between the Circle and the Chantry. If he stirs up too much trouble, they might replace him. They could wipe out the entire Circle if they wanted. The Chantry abhors blood magic. That's why they're willing to pay attention to this stupid rumor. She was saying the chant of light in the chapel one night while I was walking. I've heard that chant many times, but I never realized how beautiful the words were until then. I'll never forget that night. No, and I don't care. Why? I don't really want to think about them. I came here a year or so before you did. I must have been 5 or 6 years old. Mother stopped talking to me after I showed signs of magical ability. She wouldn't even look at me. She'd mutter under her breath that I was a demon child and an abomination in the Maker's sight. She'd fight with my father, saying that she didn't want that thing, meaning me, in her house. Guess that's what drove him to leave me at the village chantry. I suppose it's just as well. It's the past. No, and I don't care. Why? I came here... She'd mutter under her breath that Mother could be cruel. Especially, she'd guess... it's the past. Lily wouldn't jest about something like this.
I saw it plain as day. There was no mistake. And Gregor believes he does the Maker's work, keeping the mages in check.
Why are you still here? I can't believe you're abandoning me.
Yes? Senior Enchanter, Leora, in charge of the Circle's laboratory. Is there something you want? That leads to the Circle's cavern storerooms. There are caves running through the rock that the Circle is built upon. But of course, you know this. No, I can't let anyone in there just now. There are just things in there that I would prefer to keep safe. No, of course not. I just have... I am in the midst of stock taking, checking inventory, and I can't let anyone in there in case they mess things up. Yes. Because I am taking a break. I hate the musty smell of caves, and Look, I'll tell you the truth. Just keep it to yourself. There is an infestation of spiders in the caves. I don't know how they got in there, but it's probably my fault. I was promoted to senior enchanter less than a fortnight ago, and I don't want anyone to find out. They'll think I'm incompetent. I could use some, I'm sure. I've been too busy with my new duties. I haven't been able to deal with the spiders. If you cleared them out for me, I would owe you a favor. A big one. Wonderful. Here is the key. Oh, and be careful in there. I'd really like to keep the damage done to the Circle's property to a minimum.
These beasts are slowly dangerous. As you
You will not win! I knew we could not lose!
Yes.
Very well. Of course.
Very well. Will be done. Very well. As you As you say. Yes. Very well. Now you see true power! Ha! We have done well!
You're back! Are the spiders gone? Really? Oh, that's wonderful. You've saved my hide, I'm sure. And I owe you a favor, so if you need anything, I'll be here. Exactly. I'll be here, keeping the crawlies away.
Welcome to the Circle's stockroom of magical items. My name is Owain. How may I assist you? The stockroom is not a shop. Your mentor should have... The stockroom stores components used in magical and alchemical experiments.
Is there something else I can do for you?
Ah, there you are. You are to be moved out of the apprentices' dormitory, and these are to be your new quarters. This afternoon.
I heard that you completed the harrowing in record time.
I never thought you'd survive the harrowing. You got lucky, didn't you?
I hope you are well.
Ah, there you are. I ran into Duncan. You seem to make a good impression. He was pleased to have met you. You should speak to him more if you get the chance. He's a wise and learned man. Now, you haven't seen your friend Jowan since this morning, have you? I wanted to know if he was feeling all right. He seemed nervous when I spoke to him. He avoided my gaze and seemed ready to bolt. You wouldn't know what brought about this behavior, would you? Well, I'm here now. Tell me what this is about. And I presume his lover Lily told him about this. Yes, I've known for some time. Now, I know Jowan discussed something with you today. What did he say? So you realize Jowan is breaking the Circle's rules? I commend your loyalty. If he wishes to destroy his phylactery and escape, help him do it. I could simply report Jowan to the Templars, but Lily has also broken her vows and must face like consequences. For this, we need irrefutable proof of her crime. The Chantry will stand behind her, claiming she has been framed or is in the thrall of a blood mage. There must be no doubt in their minds that she helped him voluntarily. She is as guilty as Jowan. I refuse to see him suffer while the Chantry shelters her. Every so often we must remind the Chantry their members are not as perfect as they pretend. Tell Jowan and Lily you will aid them. Help them enter the repository. If that is what they intend, we will catch them red-handed. No one will be able to dispute the severity of their crimes. No charge from me is beyond your duty to this circle. Go. Convince them you... I will be outside the repository with a contingent of Templars. Let them see the mischief into which their initiate led our student. Perform well, and your dedication will be rewarded. You are back. Has something gone wrong with the plan? If you do your job, I will do mine, and everything will go smoothly. I will know. Trust me. Yes, you should not be seen talking to me, lest Jowan and Lily become suspicious.
If you're not going to help...
Forgive Jowan. He can be surly. But why have you returned? Please say you've changed your mind. Thank you. We will never forget this. I can get us into the repository, but there is a problem. There are 2 locks on the phylactery chamber door. The First Enchanter and Knight Commander each hold 1 key. But it is just a door. There is power enough in this place to destroy all of Ferelden. What's a door to mages?
We have no choice. We cannot get our hands on both keys. I once saw a rod of fire melt through a lock. You could get one from the stockroom, but Owain doesn't release such things to apprentices.
We should stay here. 1 mage at the stockroom will attract less attention than a mage, an apprentice, and an initiate.
I'd go with you, but it would look suspicious.
Good luck. Our prayers go with you.
You are back. Has something gone wrong with the plan? If you do your job...
I hope you are well.
Welcome to the Circle's stockroom of magical items. My name is Owain. How may I assist you? Rods of fire serve many purposes. Why do you wish to acquire this particular item? Some mages require them for their research. Others merely want to light fireplaces. Have you lost the key to a lock? I will set down that you require the rod to deal with the personal matter. Here is the form, Request for Rod of Fire. Have it signed and dated by a senior enchanter. I will release a rod to you once I have the signed form. It is procedure. Thank you.
You are back. As some... A rod of fire. Why do you... I understand. Trying to break through the door this way. Interesting. The phylactery chamber door is warded and resists all magic worked upon it. Not easy breaking into a locked chamber, is it? Still... yes. The phylactery chamber shares a wall with the artifact vault. Age and dampness seeping up from the ground have weakened. You can break down this part of the wall to gain entrance into the chamber. None that I can think of. However, we have an old Tevinter device in the vault. It may have been used for defense, or possibly it amplifies spells. Use the rod on this artifact. The repository is deep within the tower. Besides, odd noises are quite commonplace here. The artifact releases controlled bursts of energy. Just aim it in the right direction. One more thing. Do not be quick to suggest there is another way in. I don't want Lily and Jowan to suspect. Make it seem like you came up with the idea yourself. Here is the form with my stamp. Owain will release the rod to you now.
Welcome to the Circle's stockroom of magical items. Everything looks to be in order. Here is the rod you requested.
I hate waiting. It makes me nervous. That was quick!
To the repository, then. Freedom awaits. Thank you for your help. Freedom is so... so close, I can almost taste it.
I'm so nervous things will go wrong. Lily and I will get married somewhere. Away from the Circle and its rules.
Perhaps in the outskirts of Ferelden.
Or in Orlais. Just far from here. We'll live a quiet life. Away from magic. Maybe we can buy a farm one day. I won't do any magic or come into contact with Lyrium. I'll stay... I know I'm strong enough to fight off the...
And I will pray every day to
Well, let's just...
I hope you are well.
Of course.
The Chantry calls this entrance the Victim's Door. It is built of 277 planks, one for each original Templar. It is a reminder of all the dangers those cursed with magic pose. Initiates must learn the Circle's history if they are to work with Templars and mages. The doors can be opened only by a Templar and a mage entering together. The Chantry provides the password, which primes the ward, and the mage touches it with mana to release it. The ward only responds to the touch of one who has been through the harrowing. Yes, I got it from a Templar who recently accompanied a mage into the vault. We have chatted on many occasions. I believe he trusts me. First, the password. Sword of the Maker, Tears of the Fade. The password only primes the door. Now it must feel the touch of mana. Any spell will do, but hurry!
I'm so nervous things will go wrong. What's that supposed to mean? Well, let's just call... Do you have the rod with you? Melt the locks off.
What's the matter? Why isn't it working?
Lily, something's not right. I can't cast spells here. Nothing works.
These wards carved into the stone. This must be the Templars' work. They negate any magic cast within this area. I should have guessed. Why would Gregor and Irving use simple keys for such a door? Because magical keys don't work. How do you keep mages away from something? Make their powers completely worthless. That's it then. We're finished. We can't get in. No, Jowan, don't give up. Look, here's another door. Perhaps there is another way in.
That door probably leads to another part of the repository. What are the chances of there being another entrance?
No. We can't get into the chamber the way we planned, but we're not about to give up. We can see where this door leads, but I don't think it'll be easy. It looks locked for one. Then let's pray the Maker smiles on us.
Let's hurry, we've wasted enough time. I'm not giving up, we've come too far.
Oh, that's not good.
Why don't you just die?
You shall not touch me!
We'll need another way into the phylactery. Let's explore the repository.
Will be done. Very well.
Ha! We have done well!
It will be done.
Try to make this work! I'm not afraid of you!
Yes. Very well.
Now you fall! So shall it be! Is that it?
These things are not of the Maker.
It will be done. As you say.
will be done. So shall it be! It will be done. As you say. Yes. As you say.
Need another way into the phylactery chamber. Let's explore the repository.
Of course.
There's something odd about that statue.
Greetings.
Maker's breath, did it just say something?
I am the essence and spirit of Eleni Zenovia, once consort and advisor to Archon Valerius. Prophecy my crime, cursed to stone for foretelling the fall of my lord's house.
I'm not sure. The Archons were the lords of the Imperium.
Forever shall you stand on the threshold of my proud fortress, he said, and tell your lies to all who pass. But my lord found death at the hands of his enemies, and his once proud fortress crumbled to dust, as I foretold.
A Tevinter statue! Don't listen to it. The Tevinter lords dabbled in many forbidden arts. This is a wicked thing.
It must have been here for years. Look at the dust. I feel a little sorry for it. Her.
Weep not for me, child. Stone they made me, and stone I am, eternal and unfeeling. And I shall endure till the Maker returns to light their fires again. No help can be given me, for this is my doom and my destiny.
Ambiguous rubbish. It could mean anything. I can do it too. The sun grows dark, but lo, here comes the dawn.
Stop talking to it. Please, both of you. Come on, Jowan. Let's go.
Wow, that old wall's about to come down any moment.
Very well.
What do you think this does?
Why does the Circle keep so many Tevinter artifacts in storage?
It's history, Lily. And it's fascinating. I've seen pictures of things like this. They amplify any spell cast into them. I bet we could use this to break into the phylactery chamber. It's our best option. See where the mortar might be decaying behind that bookcase? Let's take a closer look. It should be pretty easy to get this out of the way. If we work together, we can shift it. Come on. Now we just need to find a way to get through this wall.
Very well.
Use this with the rod. I'm sure it'll work. Hurry, the clock's ticking. This is the phylactery chamber. It worked.
We must find Jowan's phylactery, quickly.
Would you destroy yours too if it were here? Right.
Yes.
Don't like this. Why don't you just die?
This is a waste of time!
Do my best! This is the way it has to be! The Maker is with us! Let's try to make it quick!
Not lose!
Very well.
That's my phylactery! You found it! I can't believe this tiny vial stands between me and freedom. So fragile. So easy just to be rid of it. To end its hold over me. And I am free.
Only apprentice phylacteries are stored in the Circle Tower. This tiny room could not hold the phylacteries of every mage who has passed through the tower doors.
Come on, you two. We're done here and we should leave.
I do not want to stay here a moment longer.
We did it! I can't believe it! Thank you. We could never have...
So what you said was true,
Gregor.
An initiate conspiring with a blood mage. I'm disappointed, Lily. She seems shocked, but fully in control of her own mind. Not a thrall of the blood mage, then. You were right, Irving. The initiate has betrayed us. The Chantry will not let this go unpunished. And this one. Newly a mage and already flouting the rules of the Circle.
It's not his fault. This was my idea.
He is here under my orders, Gregor. I take full responsibility for his actions.
Enough! As Knight Commander of the Templars here assembled, I sentence this blood mage to death. And this initiate has scorned the Chantry and her vows. Take her to Aenar.
The Mage's prison. No. Please, no. Not there.
No! I won't let you touch her!
By the Maker. Blood magic. How could you? You said you never...
I admit, I dabbled. I thought it would make me a better mage.
Blood magic is evil, Joan. It corrupts people. Changes them.
I'm going to give it up. All magic. I just want to be with you, Lily. Please, come with me.
I trusted you. I was ready to sacrifice everything for you. I don't know who you are, Blood Mage. Stay away from me.
Are you all right? Where's Gregor?
I knew it. Blood magic. To overcome so many. I never thought him capable of such power.
None of us expected this. Are you all right, Gregor?
As good as can be expected given the circumstances. If you had let me act sooner, this would not have happened. Now we have a blood mage on the loose and no way to track him down. Where is the girl?
I am here, sir.
You helped a blood mage. Look at all he's hurt.
Knight Commander, I was wrong. I was accomplice to a blood mage. I will accept whatever punishment you see fit. Even Aenar.
Get her out of my sight. And you. You were in a repository full of magics that are locked away for a reason.
Did you take anything important from the repository?
Huh. Some honesty, at last. But your antics have made a mockery of this circle. What are we to do with you?
As I said, he was working under my orders.
And this improves the situation? The phylactery chamber is forbidden to all save you and me.
I had my reasons.
You're not all-knowing, Irving. You don't know how much influence the Blood Mage might have had. How are we to deal with this?
Knight Commander, if I may, I'm not only looking for mages to join the King's army, I'm also recruiting for the Grey Wardens. Irving spoke highly of this mage, and I would like him to join the Warden ranks.
What? You've promised him a new Grey Warden?
He has served the Circle well. He would make an excellent Grey Warden.
We look for dedication in our recruits. Fighting the Darkspawn requires such dedication, often at the expense of all else.
I object. You say he operated under your instructions, Irving. But I do not trust him. I must investigate this issue, and I will not release this mage to the Grey Warden.
Rhaegar, mages are needed. This mage is needed. Worse things plague this world than blood mages. You know that. I take this young mage under my wing and bear all responsibility for his actions.
This mage does not deserve a place in the Order.
Why? Do we not reward service? This mage has served the Circle well. You have an opportunity few even dream of. Do not squander it.
We must make our way to Ostagar, where the King's army is camped. You will be initiated there. I will explain more when the time comes. Come. Your new life awaits. We will be traveling south through the hinterlands to the ruin of Ostagar, on the edges of the Korcari Wilds. The Tevinter Imperium built Ostagar long ago to prevent the Wilders from invading the northern lowlands. It's fitting we make our stand here, even if we face a different foe within that forest. The King's forces have clashed with the Darkspawn several times, but here is where the bulk of the Horde will show itself. There are only a few Grey Wardens within Ferelden at the moment, but all of us are here. This blight must be stopped, here and now. If it spreads to the north, Ferelden will fall.
Ho there, Duncan.
King Cailan. I didn't expect a
royal welcome? I was beginning to worry you'd miss all the fun.
Not if I could help it, Your Majesty.
Then I'll have the mighty Duncan at my side in battle after all. Glorious. The other wardens told me you'd found a promising recruit. I take it this is he?
Allow me to introduce you, Your Majesty.
There's no need to be so formal, Duncan. We'll be shedding blood together after all. Ho there, friend. Might I know your name? Pleased to meet you. The Grey Wardens are desperate to bolster their numbers, and I, for one, am glad to help them. I understand you hail from a circle of Magi. I trust you have some spells to help us in the coming battle. Your abilities are still above those of other men. That the Grey Wardens have recruited you says much. Allow me to be the first to welcome you to Ostagar. The Wardens will benefit greatly with you in their ranks. I'm sorry to cut this short, but I should return to my tent. Loghain waits eagerly to bore me with his strategies.
Your uncle sends his greetings and reminds you that Redcliffe forces could be here in less than a week.
Ha! Eamon just wants in on the glory. We've won 3 battles against these monsters, and tomorrow should be no different. Overconfident, some would say. Right, Duncan?
Your Majesty, I'm not certain the Blight can be ended quite as quickly as you might wish.
I'm not even sure this is a true Blight. There are plenty of Darkspawn on the field, but alas, we've seen no sign of an archdemon.
Disappointed, Your Majesty?
I'd hoped for a war like in the Tales. A king riding with the fabled Grey Wardens against a tainted god. But I suppose this will have to do. I must go before Loghain sends out a search party. Farewell, Grey Wardens.
What the king said is true. They've won several battles against the Darkspawn here. True. Despite the victories so far, the Darkspawn horde grows larger with each passing day. By now, they look to outnumber us. I know there is an archdemon behind this, but I cannot ask the king to act solely on my feeling. You must not speak of the king so. He is over-eager, perhaps, but he is also one of the few Grey Warden allies. Our numbers in Ferelden are too few. We must do what we can, and look to Teyrn Loghain to make up the difference. To that end, we should proceed with the joining ritual without delay. Every recruit must go through a secret ritual we call the Joining in order to become a Grey Warden. The ritual is brief, but some preparation is required. We must begin soon. The Joining is dangerous. I cannot speak more of it except to say that you will learn all in good time. Until then, you must trust that what is done is necessary. It is an ordeal. I'm sorry that you must endure another so soon. No, there are 2 other recruits here already. They have been waiting for us to arrive. Feel free to explore the camp here as you wish. All I ask is that you do not leave it for the time being. There is another Grey Warden in the camp by the name of Alistair. When you're ready, seek him out and tell him it's time to summon the other recruits. Until then, I have business I must attend to. You may find me at the Grey Warden tent on the other side of this bridge, should you need to.
Maker watch over you, my lord.
Hail, you must be the Grey Warden recruit that Duncan brought. This place hasn't seen such bustle in centuries, I'll wager. Need a hand getting anywhere? Used to be a fortress long... You were just on the eastern side of the ruin. The Tower of Ishal is there, but Teyrn Loghain... This side is the King's camp. We've got the Grey Wardens here, the Circle of Magi, the Chantry. You can't swing a Quartermaster, he's just a bit to the northwest. Probably in his tent. He and Teyrn Loghain are on the southwest side of the camp. The King likes to spend time with his soldiers, though. Sometimes even without his bodyguards. Drives Teyrn Loghain wild, that does. A few mages, yes. They even brought those creepy quiet fellows, the Tranquil. Gives me the shivers when they talk, all cold and even. They're to the north of here, bunched up with a herd of Templars glaring at them. Can't miss it. This is Ferelden, isn't it? The King has his kennels on the west side of camp. These aren't cute puppies, though. Some of those dogs bite. Go on, then. Not far. It's straight ahead. Most of your fellas are in the valley with the army. But try heading north. I think he was sent with a message. Good luck to you.
Greetings. King Cailan is not in his tent right now. I believe he's with the Grey Wardens in camp, drinking. He holds... I suppose I do. Though he's spending most of... Teyrn Loghain sees the king whenever... The king wants to end the Blight with a single huge battle the bards will sing of for centuries. Do you think that's possible? That's how the Terran feels. He'll do what the king wants in the end, though. The king thought it was funny the Terran called him reckless, and they fought about the queen. She's the Terran's daughter. He wasn't happy about something she did or the king did, I'm not sure. I probably shouldn't discuss it. As you wish.
You approach the tent of Terran Loghain. State your business.
How can you not know of Loghain?
He helped free Ferelden. He was the brains behind King Marik's armies and drove out those damned Orlesians. King Marik rewarded him by making him a Terran. Can you imagine? A commoner became a high nobleman just like that. Without Loghain, you can bet the king wouldn't be winning against these darks. He's inside, but I don't think it's my place to discuss his activities. I suppose, as long as we talk quietly. The Terran's known the king since he was swaddled, so they don't Personally, I think the king should do what Terran Loghain tells him. Without the Terran, we wouldn't be doing as well. I suppose you have...
Yes, what is it? Oh, you're Duncan's new Grey Warden, I assume. His Majesty could not contain his excitement after your meeting. How could I not hear about you? Kaelin's fascination with the Wardens goes beyond the ordinary. Are you aware his father brought your order back to Ferelden? The Wardens are impressive, but not as relevant as... I hear you're from the Circle of Magi. First Enchanter spoke highly. I don't suppose you'll be riding into the thick of battle with the rest of your fellows, will you? If Kaelin has his way, you will. Now I must return to my task. Pray that our king proves amenable to wisdom, if you're the praying sort. He is Marik's son, and the leader of my beloved Ferelden, and a very young man. I try to keep that in mind, as should you.
You found our tent, I see. Is there something you need? Alistair can help you with those.
You there, elf. What's your name?
It's Pick, sir.
Go tell Terran Loghain that the war party's ready to begin scouting. We'll send word if we find anything amiss.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Maker's breath, another elf. What do you want? Not in particular, except for them being so thin-boned. You make good messengers sometimes. Is there something you wanted? We have no time for idle chatter. We aren't. We're Ash Warriors. Our training has been passed down since Lathias the Dwarf son first harnessed. We harness the rage inside. It is a dwarven discipline, but we've adapted it to let us fight That is our way. I trust my hound. A trained Mabari hound is as dangerous as any. To scout the hunt will be good if my hound... The Wardens say the tainted blood dry. They fight at our side. We don't fret over. They use... So we paint our... Why? Would you steal our cadets and give it to the Darkspawn hordes? Good. I hear death is up. My thanks.
This isn't good. I'd hate to waste such a promising member of the breed. Are you the new Warden? I could use some help. This is a Mabari. Smart breed and strong. His owner died in the last battle, and the poor hound swallowed Darkspawn blood. I have medicine that might help, but I need him muzzled first. Centuries ago, a mage bred them to be smart and understand what they're told. They can remember and carry out complex orders. Most valuable dogs in the world. Trouble is, they generally imprint to one master. Re-imprinting them is very difficult. But without the medicine, re-imprinting won't be an issue. Will you help? We can try, but first we need to muzzle and medicate him. You're a Grey Warden, or soon will be. All Wardens are immune to the Darkspawn taint. The most you have to worry about is some tooth marks. Go in the pen and let him smell you. We'll know right away if he'll respond. Let's hope this works. I'd really hate to have to put him down. Well done. Now I can treat the dog properly, poor fella. Come to think of it, are you heading into the wilds anytime soon? There's a particular herb I could use to improve the dog's chances. It's a flower that grows in the swamps here, if I remember. If you happen across it, I could use it. It's very distinctive, all white, with a blood-red centre. If he doesn't get it, chances are he'll need to be put down. It usually grows in dead wood that collects at the edge of ground pools. Should be plenty this time of year. Good. In the meantime, I'll begin treating our poor friend.
What do we have here? I heard the new Grey Warden recruit was from the Circle. I don't believe we've met, but I've certainly heard a lot about your talent. My name is Wynne, and I congratulate you on your harrowing, marvelous work. The Fade is a dangerous place. I thought the same. It's good you can admit that. So, a Grey Warden, fighting alongside the King. Not too shabby for someone just out of apprenticeship? Child, you have been taught well. Use what you know, and have faith in yourself. Mages have always been pivotal in the fight against the Darkspawn. Perhaps you'll be the one to turn the tide this time. Stragglers, yes. Not the vast horde the scouts speak of. I wonder, how much do you know of the connection between Darkspawn and the Fade? They do not live there, nor would any sane mage trespass as deeply into that realm as the Black City, which lies at its heart. Some say the Black City was once the seat of the Maker. But when the mages from the Tevinter Imperium found a way into the city, it was tainted with their sin. That taint transformed those men, turning them into twisted reflections of their own hearts. And the Maker cast them back to the Earth, where they became the first Darkspawn. At least that's what the Chant of Light says. It may be allegory, meant to teach us that our own evil causes human suffering. Or it may be true. It is as good an explanation as any for now. Yes, occasionally it's wise to contemplate one's actions. But I'm certain Duncan has more for you to do than talk to me.
Death is no failure.
Back again? Don't the Grey Wardens need you? Off you go. I have preparations to make for the battle, and I won't.
So, any last Well, you're not what I thought you'd be. Oh, me and Sir Knight were just betting on what the third Not an elf, yet here you are. The name's Daveth. It's about bloody time you came along. I was beginning to think they'd cooked this ritual up just for our benefit. I happened to be sneaking around camp last night, see, and I heard a couple of Grey Wardens talking. So, I listened in for a bit. I'm thinking they plan to send us into the wilds. We're right on the northern edge of the Kokari Wilds here, miles and miles of savage country. My home village isn't far, and I grew up on tales about the wilds. Even been in there a few times. Scary place. Cannibals, beasts, witches, and now Darkspawn. What isn't to be scared of? It's all too secretive for me. Makes my nose twitch. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Like we have a choice. I suppose I could do that. Anyway, I expect it's time to get back to Duncan. That's where I'll be if you need me for anything.
How do you do?
You there, elf. Where's my armor? And why are you dressed so preposterously? Oh, yes, of course. Please, forgive my rudeness. There are so many elves running about, and I've been waiting for... It's simply been so hectic. I never thought... But please, pardon my terrible manners. I am just the quartermaster, a simple man. No one special. Yes, of course, you're very right. Did you come for some supplies, perhaps? Arms and armor, for the most part. It's for the King's men, but you Grey Wardens can buy what you need for a modest price. I also have some goods on the side I can provide. Strictly off the record, of course, to keep morale up, you understand. Let me know what you'd like.
Welcome, young man. Yes, and you are a mage of the Circle. You must be familiar with the Tranquil who serve there. I create and oversee the enchantment of weapons and armor for the King's forces here at Ostagar. It is a time-consuming process, but invaluable. Enchantment provides the Circle its wealth. Certainly we would not get by on charity. It is the practice of folding magical lyrium into items first. The Tranquil have learned their runes, and we use them to apply a variety of magical effects. We create the glow lights, as well as the magic staff, or the flaming blade. The irony, perhaps, is that it is our very disconnection to our former talents that allows the Tranquil to work with lyrium so. A true mage could not. Runes exist that hold the power of the elements that increase strength or swiftness. Almost any spell can be given permanency, given enough skill and lyrium. Naturally, the greater the power required, the more expensive the rune will become to create. True power comes with a price, as we know only too well. Goodbye.
Maker above, hear the prayers of your sons and daughters. We who betrayed your prophet Amdrak is now
Look carefully, man. This wretched thing is a darkspawn. They're strong and cunning and smart, but don't listen to those old tales.
This is supposed to be the battle that sends these Darkspawn back underground. Can you believe that?
Hello? I'm sorry, is there something you needed? I deliver messages around the camp. You have a message for me? Are you the new Grey Warden recruit? I was just walking by when I heard. It must be exciting to be so important. Wait, you aren't here to tell me I'm in trouble, are you? I don't think so. I'm one of the King's servants, which means I run messages around and make deliveries all day long. If you fall behind, you get the switch from the quartermaster. Oh, I wish I were back at the palace. There are far more places to hide. I better go. If the quartermaster sees me chatting, he'll think I'm being lazy, and that'll be my hide. But it was nice talking to someone.
Makes you wonder if they're great. Blessed are the peacekeepers, the champions of the just.
There are lots of Darkspawn, different kinds. Getting reports of things.
I'm sorry, but the mages must not be interrupted. The mages must not be interrupted. Their spirits are in the Fade. Perhaps they're scouting for Darkspawn. I don't know, and don't ask. Regardless, they are not to be disturbed. Not even by Grey Wardens.
Soldiers of Ferelden, my sisters and gentlefolk.
What is it now? Haven't Grey Wardens asked more than enough of the Circle?
I simply came to deliver a message from the revered mother, Sir Mage. She desires your presence.
What her reverence desires is of no concern to me. I am busy helping the Grey Wardens, by the King's orders, I might add.
Should I have asked her to write a note?
Tell her I will not be harassed in this manner.
Yes, I was harassing you by delivering a message.
Your glibness does you no credit.
Here I thought we were getting along so well. I was even going to name one of my children after you. The Grumpy One.
Enough. I will speak to the woman if I must. Get out of my way, fool.
You know, one good thing about the Blight is how it brings people together. It's like a party. We could all stand in a circle and hold hands. That would give the Darkspawn something to think about. Wait, we haven't met, have we? I don't suppose you happen to be another mage. And here I thought I'd been yelled at by every mage in camp. Wait, I do know who you are. You're Duncan's new recruit from the Circle of Magi. I should have recognized you right away. I apologize. Good. You didn't exactly catch me at my finest with the mage there. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Alistair, the new Grey Warden. Though I guess you knew that. As the junior member of the Order, I'll be accompanying you when you prepare for the joining. Right, that was the name. So I'm curious. Have you ever actually encountered Darkspawn before? When I fought my first one, I wasn't prepared for how monstrous it was. I can't say I'm looking forward to encountering another. Anyhow, whenever you're ready, let's get back to Duncan. I imagine he's eager to get things started. With the mage, the Circle is here at the King's request, and the Chantry doesn't like that one bit. They just love letting mages know how unwelcome they are. Which puts me in a bit of an awkward position. I was once a Templar. I'm sure the revered mother meant it as an insult, sending me as her messenger, and the mage picked right up on that. I never would have agreed to deliver it, but Duncan says we're all to cooperate and get along. Apparently they didn't get the same speech. Don't worry, I'll try not to embarrass you. Davith and Sir Jory are here in the camp. Have you met them? Right, that cut-purse Duncan conscripted. I'm not sure what Duncan sees in him, to be honest. Keep an eye out, maybe we'll see the other one, or I can track him down later. You do? Huh, that's a switch. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, lead on. Yes? As I said, I was trained as a Templar before Duncan recruited me about 6 months ago. The Chantry raised me, and becoming a Templar was a decision made for me a long time ago. Duncan saw I wasn't happy, and figured my training against mages could double for fighting Darkspawn. Now, here I stand, a proud Grey Warden. The Grand Cleric wouldn't have let me go if Duncan never forced the issue. I'll always be grateful to him. It just wasn't for me. I believe in the Maker well enough, but I never wanted to devote my life to the Chantry. I spent years in that Chantry, hopelessly resigned to my fate. Duncan was the first person who cared what I wanted. He risked a lot of trouble with the Grand Cleric to help me. What about? So I imagine. What would you like to know? The Grey Wardens are warriors without equal. Darkspawn threatened to destroy the world 4 times over. Each time, the Grey Wardens led mankind to victory. Nobody knows more about Darkspawn, and nobody's better equipped to deal with them. You'll see. Trust me. I don't know if I go that far. Duncan says the Grey Wardens do whatever is necessary to protect mankind from Darkspawn. That means some pretty extreme things. Whatever it takes to bring victory. Well, let's see. Surely you've heard of Weishaupt Fortress? The great eyrie carved into the White Cliffs, far off in the Neanderthals? That's where the Grey Wardens once kept their griffins. The griffins died out, however, and our numbers have dwindled since the last Blight. There's only a handful left in Ferelden. A few more in other nations. The others are camped with the King's soldiers in the valley. The King's given us a position of honor at the vanguard, despite our small numbers. I think Cailan is actually excited to ride into battle with us. Maybe he thinks that's what his father would have done. King Maric, Cailan's father, reaffirmed the power the Grey Wardens were given during the Blights. In practice, we can't conscript too often without hurting our cause. We were exiled from Ferelden once. Best not to let that happen again. You want to ask me about something else? Of course. You want the Chantry's version or the truth? They seldom are. According to the Chant of Light, the Maker imprisoned the old gods underground long ago, as punishment for tricking mankind into worshipping them. The old gods still whispered to some men, and taught them magic. These men became the Magisters of the Tevinter Empire. The Magisters used their gift to enter the Golden City, tainting it and themselves. They were cast out by the Maker, and became the first Darkspawn. They fled underground, bringing their taint to their gods. The tainted old gods were the archdemons who rose from their prisons and led the Darkspawn against the world. Yes, and it nearly wiped us out. When defeated, the Darkspawn flee back underground and seek out another old god to taint, thus bringing another Blight. We haven't seen it yet. People are beginning to think this is just an unusually large Darkspawn raid without an Archdemon to unify them. But seriously, the Archdemon could be in the wilds or underground. It could be hiding. Just because it hasn't shown itself doesn't mean it isn't out there. They've controlled the deep roads ever since they defeated the Dwarven kingdoms. Even if we invaded, we can only chase them so far. The old gods were dragons, so the stories say. Big ones. Intelligent, even. The Tevinter Empire had big statues of them. Each dragon had a name and a place in the cosmos. It's all very intricate. The Archdemons may not be the old gods, but they're definitely dragons. The Grey Wardens killed so many Darkspawn by the end of the last Blight, people decided they were gone for good. Of course. We chop off the snake's head. It's the only way. According to texts, the most famous Grey Warden leader, Garahel, killed the Archdemon Underal in personal combat at the Battle of Aesley to end the last Blight. Without the Archdemon to command them, the Darkspawn flee back underground. The Grey Wardens keep watch. We feel the Darkspawn when they come. You'll understand after the joining, if you... well, you'll understand. Not to mention people start to notice when Darkspawn pour out of the wilds and taint everything around them. Just a guess. Thousands? Tens of thousands? They've had centuries to build up their numbers. You want to ask me about something else? Of course. You want to ask me about something else? Duncan is the leader of the Grey Wardens in Ferelden, which he would say doesn't mean much, as there aren't many of us here. Yet, beyond that, he's a good man. A good judge of character. I owe him a lot. What about you? What do you think of him? That sounds familiar. He's done the best he can with what little he has. And that includes me, I guess. You want to ask me about something else? I wish I could tell you more. Maybe ask me again after Duncan speaks to you about it. You want to ask me about something else? The one tomorrow. I'll tell you. It's Teyrn Loghain we should be looking to win it, not the king. Cailan just wants his place in history. The Teyrn is planning the strategy. That's my opinion, anyway. I guess I should be thankful the king favors us Grey Wardens. But I know who's keeping the lid on the pot. You know, that's a good question. The other Grey Wardens are riding into battle with the king. I don't know if you'll be with them. We're at the edge of the Korcari Wilds, the eye of the Blight Storm, right where the Horde will be coming. Ostagar itself is an excellent defensive position. The Wilders were pushed back from here time and again in ancient days. I'm sure Teyrn Loghain has the battle planned to the last detail. Still, no Blight has ever been defeated with so little cost. If we don't break the Horde here, Duncan says it will spread until it engulfs all of Ferelden. Then it will take an alliance of nations to fight it, which would be bad. Neither the king nor the Teyrn really seems to believe this is a real Blight, however. You want to ask me about something else? Then let's get a move on, shall we? Yes? Don't worry. I'll try not to embarrass... What about? Then...
Hail to you.
Welcome, young man. Indeed, the Circle makes tranquil those within. The brand is a minor price to pay. I am pleased. Good.
Yes? Then let's...
I do not have time to speak at present, thank you.
Back again? Don't the Grey Wardens need you?
You found Alistair, did you? Good. I'll assume you're ready to begin preparations. Assuming, of course, that you're quite finished riling up mages, Alistair.
What can I say? The revered mother ambushed me. The way she wields guilt, they should stick her in the army.
She forced you to sass the mage, did she? We cannot afford to antagonize anyone, Alistair. We don't need to give anyone more ammunition against us.
I apologize, Duncan. I'll go collect who we're missing. This is Sir Jory, a knight from Redcliffe.
How do you do?
And this, of course, is the recruit that Duncan said he was bringing.
Now then, since you're all here, we can begin. You four will be heading into the Korcari Wilds to perform 2 tasks. The first is to obtain 3 vials of Darkspawn blood, 1 for each recruit. For the joining itself, I'll explain more once you've returned. You weren't recruited out of charity. All 3 of you are skilled and resourceful. Alistair is the most junior member of our order and will accompany you as is tradition. Do not worry. I doubt you will need to go far into the wilds to find what you seek. Of course. You must work together to collect the components, however. It's as much a part of the joining as what comes after. There was once a Grey Warden archive in the wilds, abandoned long ago when we could no longer afford to maintain such remote outposts. It has recently come to our attention that some scrolls have been left behind, magically sealed to protect them. Alistair, I want you to retrieve these scrolls if you can. Old treaties, if you're curious. Promises of support made to the Grey Wardens long ago. They were once considered only formalities. With so many having forgotten their commitments to us, I suspect it may be a good idea to have something to remind them with. It's possible the scrolls may have been destroyed or even stolen, though the seal's magic should have protected them. Only a Grey Warden can break such a seal.
I don't understand. Why leave such things in a ruin if they're so valuable?
It was assumed that we would someday return. A great many things were assumed that have not held true. No, but the effort must be made. I have every confidence you are up to the task. It will be an overgrown ruin by now, but the sealed chest should remain intact. Alistair will guide you to the area you need to search. Watch over your charges, Alistair. Return quickly and safely.
We will.
Then may the Maker watch over your path. I will see you when you return.
We need to get down to the wilds. The sooner you get this done, the better. Trust me.
Yes? I grew up in a village about a day's trip to the east. Little blot you wouldn't even find on a map. Haven't been back in years. I struck out for the city as soon as I could outrun my pa. I've been in Denerim for what, 6 years now? Never liked it much, but there's more purses there than anywhere else. And a pickpocket, thank you very much. Or was, anyhow. Who'd ever guess I'd end up a Grey Warden? I found them. I cut Duncan's purse while he was standing in a crowd. He grabs my wrist, but I squirm out and bolt. The old bugger can run, but the garrison caught me first. I'm a wanted man in Denerim, you see, so they were going to string me up right there. Duncan stopped them, invoked the right of conscription. I gave the garrison the finger while I was walking away. Don't know why Duncan wants someone like me, but he says finesse is important and that I'm fast with a blade. You bet your boots I am. Besides, it beats getting strung up. All right for an old bugger. He's faster than he looks, too. You heard the same speech I did. Blood and old treaties. Oh, hey, I'm following...
Greetings. It is good to finally have a moment to speak with you. I hail from Redcliffe, but Duncan recruited me in Highever, a city off the northern coast. Have you traveled there? I was in Arl Eamon's retinue when he attended King Maric's funeral. It was in Highever that I met my Helena. I was smitten. She has the most beautiful eyes, my Helena. Now, for years, I found any excuse to return there. We married a year ago. Arl Eamon gave me leave to serve in Highever, but I was attempting to persuade Helena to come to Redcliffe with me, at least until I was recruited. Never. I will return to her once my duty is done and the Blight defeated. Last month, Duncan visited Highever, and the band held a tournament in his honor. I won the Grand Melee. It was hard to leave my wife. We married only a year ago, and she is heavy with child now. But Ferelden needs my blade, and I shall not falter. He has a seemingly impossible task, with a scarce handful of Grey Wardens, yet he does not complain or flinch from his duty. We need to find those documents and the Darkspawn blood. It should... Indeed.
Welcome to the King's Camp, my lord.
You may not want to remain here long, Warden. Most of these men have been tainted
In the
by
name of
Darkspawn
Andraste,
blood.
I bless you today. May you find favor in the Maker's eye.
Sorry, the main army camp is off limits for you right now. Huh. Someone finally comes and talks to the lone prisoner. I don't suppose you've come to sentence me. I don't suppose you have a bit of kindness in you. All I want is food and water. They haven't fed me since I was locked up, and I'm starving. I'm a deserter, or so they think. I bet there's no arguing them out of it, though. Armies are funny that way. I wasn't deserting. But when you catch someone sneaking around camp in the middle of the night, what else are you gonna think? Does it matter? All I want is a bit of food and water. You're a funny one. They wouldn't listen to some elf unless you were volunteering to take my place in here. And it's not as if they're wrong. I probably would have deserted later. Just not when they caught me is all. Hope that doesn't spoil your opinion of me. I'm still hungry enough to eat my shoe. Because you might want something I don't need. Them circle wizards got a chest they keep things in. Magical things. And I stole the key. That's why I'm here. I got one of them drunk, took his key and tried to sneak to the chest. They assumed I was deserting. I can't use it from here. But I'd trade you for some food and water. I swallowed it. But it's, come back into my possession since then, so to speak.
And an excellent party trick, I'll bet.
Yeah, well... Do you want the key or not? Just ask my guard for his. He's still got some dinner. I saw him put it in his coat.
Lucky dog. You Grey Wardens get to ride with the king while I'm left with the drudgery of guarding this deserter. They should have just hanged him. Put his head on a pike as an example. They say he was recruited before the war up in Dinnerham. Probably figured he'd never have to fight if he served the king, right? Why does anyone want to desert? Because he thinks he's going to die and he's a bloody coward, that's why. Either that or he's been listening to a bunch of hogwash about how the Darkspawn will drag you off and eat you. Don't expect it was an enlightening conversation. Did he now? Since nobody sends me nothing to feed him with, the only way we'll get that is if I give him mine. All right, all right. I guess the poor fella could stand to have one meal in his belly before he hangs. Don't know why you care. I had nothing to do with it, though. If anyone asks why he's burping, I'm gonna say it was you. Just so you know.
So? Brought me some food, have you? So hungry I could faint dead away. Much obliged. May Andraste herself rain blessings upon you. And, as I mentioned, here's the key. Use it in good health, huh?
Huh. Considering where that came from, let's hope we're not the only ones in good health.
That course of act. Welcome, young man. Goodbye.
As you say.
That course of action is inadvisable.
Hail.
I'm told you all have business in the wilds. The gate's open for you. Just be careful out there. Even a Grey Warden won't be safe in the forest tonight.
Let's get what we came for and head back to Duncan.
Over here.
Who is that?
Grey Wardens.
Well, he's not half as dead as he looks, is he?
My scouting band was attacked by Darkspawn. They came out of the ground. Please, help me. I've got to return to camp.
I have bandages in my pack.
Thank you. I've got to get out of here.
Did you hear? An entire patrol of seasoned men killed by Darkspawn.
Calm down, Sir Jory. We'll be fine if we're careful.
Those soldiers were careful, and they were still overwhelmed. How many Darkspawn can the four of us slay? A dozen? 100? There's an entire army in these forests.
There are Darkspawn about, but we're in no danger of walking into the bulk of the Horde.
How do you know? I'm not a coward, but this is foolish and reckless. We should go back. That's true.
Know this. All Grey Wardens can sense Darkspawn. Whatever their cunning, I guarantee they won't take us by surprise. That's why I'm here.
You see, Sir Knight, we might die, but we'll be warned about it first.
That is reassuring.
That doesn't mean I'm here to make this easy, however. So let's get a move on.
Of course. Yes. As you say. Of course.
Of course.
These are vile and tainted creatures.
Look there. Poor slobs. That just seems so excessive. We still need to find those documents, if they're even here.
Where shall I strike?
Yes.
Well, well. What have we here? Are you a vulture, I wonder? A scavenger, poking amidst a corpse whose bones were long since cleaned? Or merely an intruder, come into these darkspawn-filled wilds of mine in search of easy prey? What say you, Scavenger or intruder? You are the intruder here. I believe the first question is rightfully mine. I have watched your progress for some time. Where do they go, I wondered? Why are they here? And now you disturb ashes none have touched for so long. Why is that?
Don't answer her. She looks chastened, and that means others may be nearby.
Oh, you fear barbarians will swoop down upon you.
Yes, swooping is bad.
She's a witch of the wilds, she is. She'll turn us into toads.
Witch of the Wilds. Such idle fancies, those legends. Have you no minds of your own? You there. Elves are not frightened little boys. Tell me your name and I shall tell you mine. Now that is a proper civil greeting, even here in the wilds. You may call me Morrigan. Shall I guess your purpose? You sought something in that chest? Something that is here no longer?
Here no longer. You stole them, didn't you? You're some kind of sneaky witch thief.
How very eloquent. How does one steal from dead men?
Quite easily, it seems. Those documents are Grey Warden property, and I suggest you return them.
I will not, for 'twas not I who removed them. Invoke a name that means nothing here any longer if you wish. I am not threatened. 'Twas my mother, in fact. There is a sensible request. I like you.
I'd be careful. First it's, I like you, but then zap. Frog time.
She'll put us all in the pot, she will. Just you watch.
If the pot's warmer than this forest, it'd be a nice change.
Follow me then, if it pleases you. Greetings, Mother. I bring before you 4 Grey Wardens who...
I see them, girl. Much as I expected.
Are we supposed to believe you were expecting us?
You are required to do nothing, least of all believe. Shut one's eyes tight or open one's arms wide. Either way, one's a fool.
She's a witch, I tell you. We shouldn't be talking to her.
Quiet, Davith. If she's really a witch, do you want to make her mad?
There is a smart lad. Sadly irrelevant to the larger scheme of things, but it is not I who decides. Believe what you will. And what of you? Does your elven mind give you a different viewpoint? What do you believe? Oh, if you must protest so quickly, perhaps I need not ask. So much about you is uncertain, and yet I believe. Do I? Why, it seems I do.
So this is a dreaded Witch of the Wilds.
Witch of the Wilds, huh? Morrigan must have told you that. She fancies such tales, though she would never admit it. Oh, how she dances under the moon.
They did not come to listen to your wild tales, Mother.
True, they came for their treaties, yes? And before you begin barking, your precious seal wore off long ago. I have protected these.
You... Oh, you protected them?
And why not? Take them to your Grey Wardens and tell them this Blight's threat is greater than they realize. Do I? Perhaps I am simply an old woman with a penchant for moldy parchments. Oh, do not mind me. You have what you came for.
Time for you to go, then.
Do not be ridiculous, girl. These are your guests.
Oh, very well. I will show you out of the woods. Follow me.
Hail. Now be careful, there's more than Darkspawn out there, you know.
The Mabari's stable for now, but not improving. Unless I get that herb I told you about, there's not much hope. Let me see. Yeah, that's exactly it. Wonderful. Yeah, give me a moment and I'll make this into an ointment. He looks better already. I'm sure he'd thank you himself if he could. A day, maybe 2. There's enough ointment for him to make a full recovery. Why not come back after the battle? Perhaps we can see about imprinting him on you. Maybe. It's likely he understands you're responsible for curing him. Mabari are at least as smart as your average tax collector. Come back after the battle and just... well, take another look. The Mabari's responding well. As I said, come back after the battle's done. He's bound to be livelier then.
Hello again. Is there something you need? Some supply...
Ah, I suspect you are one of the new Grey Wardens. Will you accept the Maker's blessing? I merely pass on the Maker's blessings. He looks kindly on all who will receive him. Then I bless you, Grey Warden, in the name of Andraste and the Maker above. May the chant of light carry your name to the ears of our Lord.
My belly thanks you. At least if I'm hanged, I'll have a little weight on me.
You may not want to remain...
You need to convince them. We've got to run. The Darkspawn are coming. I saw them. We're gonna die.
I apologize, Warden. He's been like this ever since they found him in the wilds. The commander who brought him here didn't seem to think so.
You can feel it, can't you? They taint the land, turn it black and sick. Oh, you can feel it inside. They'll come out of that forest and spread. Like caterpillars covering a tree. They'll swallow us whole.
That's quite enough out of you. You need to calm yourself, my good man.
They were everywhere. I saw them. I don't want to see it.
I apologize if the soldier disturbed you.
I close my eyes.
Ever since they found him in the wild,
Please
he's been
just
like
leave
this.
me be. He
It's
calls.
so sad.
Ten Loghain may not think much of the Grey Wardens. The king was right.
Welcome to the King's camp, my lord.
Greetings. King Cailan is not in his tent.
Let's get back to Duncan quickly.
Yes?
If we wait too long...
We got everything, so let's... Hey, I'm fine.
So you returned from the wilds. Have you been successful? Good. I've had the Circle mages preparing. With the blood you've retrieved, we can begin the joining immediately.
There was a woman at the tower, and her mother had scrolls. They were both very... odd.
Were they Wilder folk?
I don't think so. They might be apostates. Mages hiding from the Chantry.
I know you were once a Templar, Alistair, but Chantry business is not ours. We have the scrolls. Let us focus on the joining. Let me be very clear on that point. You are not volunteers. Whether you were conscripted or recruited, you were chosen because you are needed. There is no turning back now. You must gather your courage for what comes next.
Courage? How much danger are we in?
I will not lie. We Grey Wardens pay a heavy price to become what we are. Fate may decree that you pay your price now, rather than later. As could any Darkspawn you might face in battle. You would not have been chosen, however, if I did not think you had a chance to survive.
Let's go then. I'm anxious to see this joining now.
I agree. Let's have it done.
Then let us begin. Alistair, take them to the old temple.
The more I hear about this joining, the less I like it.
Are you blubbering again?
Why all these damn tests? Have I not earned my place?
Maybe it's tradition. Maybe they're just trying to annoy you.
I only know that my wife is in Highever with a child on the way. If they had warned me, it just doesn't seem fair.
Would you have come if they'd warned you? Maybe that's why they don't. The Wardens do what they must, right?
Including sacrificing us?
I'd sacrifice a lot more if I knew it would end the Blight. You saw those Darkspawns tonight. Wouldn't you die to protect your pretty wife from them? Maybe you'll die. Maybe we'll all die. If nobody stops the Darkspawn, we'll die for sure.
I've just never faced a foe I could not engage with my blade.
At last, we come to the joining. The Grey Wardens were founded during the First Blight, when humanity stood on the verge of annihilation. So it was that the first Grey Wardens drank of Darkspawn blood, and mastered their taint.
We're going to drink the blood of those creatures.
As the first Grey Wardens did before us, as we did before you. This is the source of our power and our victory.
Those who survive the joining become immune to the taint. We can sense it in the Darkspawn and use it to slay the Archdemon.
Not all who drink the blood will survive, and those who do are forever changed. This is why the joining is a secret. It is the price we pay. We speak only a few words prior to the joining, but these words have been said since the first. Alistair, if you would.
Join us, brothers and sisters. Join us in the shadows where we stand vigilant. Join us as we carry the duty that cannot be forsworn. And should you perish, know that your sacrifice will not be forgotten. And that one day, we shall join you.
Davith, step forward. am sorry, Davith. Step forward, Jory.
But I have a wife, a child. Had I known...
There is no turning back.
No. You ask too much. There is no glory in this.
I am sorry. But the joining is not yet complete. You are called upon to submit yourself to the Taint for the greater good. From this moment forth, you are a Grey Warden. It is finished. Welcome.
2 more deaths. In my joining, only one of us died, but it was horrible. I'm glad at least one of you made it through.
How do you feel? Jory was warned that there was no turning back, as were you all. When he went for his blade, however, he left me no choice. It brought me no pleasure to end his life. The Blight demands sacrifices from us all. Thankfully, you stand here as proof they are not all made in vain.
Did you have dreams? I had terrible dreams after my joining.
Such dreams come when you begin to sense the Darkspawn, as we all do. That and many other things can be explained in the months to come.
Before I forget, there is one last part to your joining. We take some of that blood and put it in a pendant. Something to remind us of those who didn't make it this far.
Take some time. When you're ready, I'd like you to accompany me to a meeting with the king. Death is never easy to accept, especially when it arrives in such a brutal fashion. Honor your comrades if you wish, but know that we must press forward. Always we must press forward. The meeting is to the west, down the stairs. Please attend as soon as you're able.
If the king wants to see you and Duncan, you probably shouldn't keep him waiting.
We can speak more
He
after
might
the
get
meeting
mad,
with the king.
start crying. You'll feel bad and... well, it won't.
Back again? Don't the Grey Wardens need you?
Welcome, Grey Warden, and congratulations on your success.
Loghain, my decision is final. I will stand by the Grey Wardens in this assault.
You risk too much, Cailan. The Darkspawn Horde is too dangerous for you to be playing hero on the front lines.
If that's the case, perhaps we should wait for the Orlesian forces to join us after all.
I must repeat my protest to your fool notion that we need the Orlesians to defend ourselves.
It is not a fool notion. Our arguments with the Orlesians are a thing of the past, and you will remember who is king.
How fortunate Marek did not live to see his son ready to hand Ferelden over to those who enslaved us for a century.
Then our current forces will have to suffice, won't they? Duncan, are your men ready for battle?
They are, Your Majesty.
And this is the recruit I met earlier on the road? I understand congratulations are in order. Oh, but you are. Every Grey Warden is needed now more than ever.
Your fascination with glory and legends will be your undoing, Cailan. We must attend to reality.
Fine. Speak your strategy. The Grey Wardens and I draw the Darkspawn into charging our lines, and then?
You will alert the tower to light the beacon, signaling my men to charge from cover.
To flank the Darkspawn, I remember. This is the Tower of Ishal in the ruins, yes? Well, who shall light this beacon?
I have a few men stationed there. It's not a dangerous task, but it is vital.
Then we should send our best. Send Alistair and the new Grey Warden to make sure it's done.
We need the beacon. Without it, Loghain's men won't know when to charge.
You see? Glory for everyone.
You rely on these Grey Wardens too much. Is that truly wise?
Enough of your conspiracy theories, Loghain. Grey Wardens battle the Blight no matter where they're from.
Your Majesty, you should consider the possibility of the Archdemon appearing.
There have been no signs of any dragons in the wilds.
Isn't that what your men are here for, Duncan?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Your Majesty, the tower and its beacon are unnecessary. The
We
Circle
will
of
not
Magi...
trust any lives to your spells, Mage. Save them for the Darkspawn.
Enough! This plan will suffice. The Grey Wardens will light the beacon.
Thank you, Loghain. I cannot wait for that glorious moment. The Grey Wardens battle beside the King of Ferelden to stem the tide of evil.
Yes, Cailan. A glorious moment for us all.
You heard the plan. You and Alistair will go to the Tower of Ishal and ensure the beacon is lit.
What? I won't be in the battle.
This is by the King's personal request, Alistair. If the beacon is not lit, Teyrn Loghain's men won't know when to charge.
So he needs 2 Grey Wardens standing up there holding the torch, just in case, right?
The tower is on the other side of the gorge from the King's camp, the way we came when we arrived. You'll need to cross the gorge and head through the gate and up to the tower entrance. From the top, you'll overlook the entire valley. I will be fighting beside the King with the rest of the Grey Wardens. Again, at his request. We will signal you when the time is right. Alistair will know what to look for.
We soil our drawers, that's what.
If it does, leave it to us. I want no heroics from either of you. The battle is about to begin. Once I leave, move quickly. You'll have less than an hour. Of course, even the best laid plans go awry. So do what you must. I trust you both.
Just not enough to actually fight with the rest of you.
There will be plenty of battles, Alistair. Be patient. Stay with the Teyrn's men and guard the tower. If you are needed, we will send word. Then I must join the others. From here, you two are on your own. Remember, you are both Grey Wardens. I expect you to be worthy of that title.
Duncan, may the Maker watch over you.
May he watch over us all.
Let's just get to the tower. It may be the most glamorous job, but...
The plan will work, Your Majesty.
Of course it will. The Blight ends here.